All right, good morning, everyone. It is 8:51 in the morning of the 7th of April, 2022, and this is my pre-market strategy session. So, the first thing today that I'd like to point out is that the yield curve has, the 10's and the 2's, I should say, have come out of inversion. So you can see here, let's see, it closed below zero and closed in negative territory here on the 31st of March, and then put in a major confirmation there. I would expect more downside after a candle like that. And then in the next 2 days after that, it started closing above the zero line again. But what's interesting, and I don't know the entire workings of how the bond market plus the Fed window plus the quantitative easing plus the quantitative tightening plus the all the special programs that the Fed has now in order to, sort of all those programs that were started during COVID are still in place. So the Fed still has all of those tools to stimulate. And I don't know. I mean, who's to say they can or can't stimulate, in some certain areas and, tighten in other areas? Well, anyway, the Fed has never tightened into an inverted yield curve before. Let's see, we're coming up on probably about a month away now. Yeah, I think the next Fed announcement is going to be in May. So, I mean, it would be really convenient for the Fed to tighten if yields, start, the yield curve, if the 10's and the 2's aren't inverted. If, in fact, if no part of the yield curve is inverted, it would make the Fed's job a lot easier to tighten, since they've never tightened into an inverted yield curve. So, I mean, I'm not really one for conspiracy theories. Well, actually, you know what? I love the entertainment of conspiracy theories. Sometimes they're right, but when it comes to real world applications, I like to keep it simple, and it's usually the best explanation for most events in life. When it comes to something as complicated as the bond market, with the central bank, it's practically a black box to me. I mean, I know that there's a lot of information out there to be able to, know exactly how it all works. But geez, it's a lot for one person to try and keep up with and earn a living. So anyway, so here we have the yield curve, the 10's and the 2's, I should say specifically, because I think the 5's. There's some other part of the yield curve that's still inverted right now. Anyway, the 10's and the 2's are coming back out of inversion, and typically speaking, when the 10's and 2's dip below zero, go negative, and then come back out again, it's where they come back out again that the broader market starts to see some negative returns, which you can kind of see here. The SPY, in the morning here last night, it was going down, and now here, as it gets closer to the open, it's getting sold off a little bit. So, I'm really expecting. I've started to average into short on the XLY. I started that back on the 18th, back here. Yeah, right in here. I started averaging into a short on this day right in here. And it's break even right now, but essentially the XLY is going to get kind of the worst consumer discretionary. Consumer staples are really going up in price, like power, water, food, medicine. The stuff that people really buy no matter what condition the economy is in. Those are getting really expensive, and people just aren't going to have extra money for the discretionary stuff. Gas is super expensive. All right. So anyway, yeah, I'm expecting the XLY to kind of continue its downward trajectory here for quite some time. And so I'm positioning in on a swing position here for it to come down and break these lows. I don't know when. I don't know when it's going to happen. I guess I'll probably take profit somewhere. Once I start going up 50% or so in the trade, I am going to leverage it. Then I'll ditch the trade and take profits. So otherwise, let's see. Bitcoin is saying risk. Oh, no. There's this spot right here at 42,000 that I have marked off. Let's see. In my estimation, this 42,000 right here is going to be a good spot to buy. So today, yesterday, and the day before that, Bitcoin was saying risk off. But we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. I wonder if it breaks down below 42,000 and doesn't get bought back up again, and it closes below 42,000, that's bearish. But if it holds and bounces off of 42,000, it's bullish. And it's interesting, what crypto. It's interesting. We live in interesting times. All right, so there's the XLY. There's the 10-year, 2-year spread. And then there's Bitcoin. All right, everybody, good luck out there. Keep your risk tight. Click like, share, subscribe, leave a comment, tap the bell, and I will see you at tomorrow morning's strategy session. I am out.